This evening, first, the highly anticipated government rollout of the $100,000 cash grant for every adult citizen is the talk of the nation. But how will they ensure smooth and fair distribution? Learn about a new app designed to keep the process secure. Plus, critics are raising alarm over the grant distribution process, with the opposition questioning the transparency and potential misuse. We'll tell you why they want stricter measures. Also, the Ghana Press Association is sounding the alarm over the growing intimidation and harassment of journalists by political figures. With elections on the horizon, could press freedom be at risk? And in court today, a Georgetown businessman reverses his guilty plea in a high-profile tax evasion case. Learn what's behind the sudden change and what's next in this unfolding legal battle. Finally, in Haiti, escalating gang violence has forced over 10,000 people to flee their homes. We'll bring you the latest from the United Nations on this worsening humanitarian crisis. This stories and more coming up on Headline News Update. Welcome to this broadcast of Channel 2's Headline News Update for October 25th, 2024. I am Baby Bacchus. Thank you for joining us. First up, the Ministry of Finance is testing an app to distribute a $100,000 cash grant to eligible Guyanese citizens aged 18 and older. Malcolm Carter has further details.
The Ministry of Finance is developing an application to facilitate the distribution of a $100,000 cash grant to every Guyanese aged 18 and older. General Secretary of the People's Progressive Party, Dr. Bara Jagio, announced this during his weekly press conference on Thursday.
We are currently developing an app that, even as I speak today, it's being tested. The Ministry of Finance is leading the process, but there are several agencies involved, and the app would have some compulsory fields that people would have to fill up before the check is processed.
This approach aims to ensure a transparent and corruption-free distribution process. Eligible Guyanese citizens living abroad with a valid ID will also qualify, but must register in person in Guyana, as payments will not be processed overseas.
We have no intention of going to New York or Toronto to register people there. They will have to be in Guyana, register here, and they're eligible as Guyanese, provided they have the requisite documents to prove such, that they can then receive the cash grant.
President Dr. Mohamed Ifran Ali had previously introduced the one-off cash grant to address administrative challenges associated with a planned 200,000 household grant. With a cost exceeding $60 billion, the initiative is expected to boost disposable income nationwide. For Headline News Update, Malcolm Carter.
Thanks, Malcolm. Staying with current events, the opposition criticizes the PPP's $100,000 cash grant distribution, claiming it enables corruption, benefits supporters, and lack oversight, urging stricter monitoring. Here again is Malcolm Carter.
The opposition has criticized the PPP government, accusing them of creating avenues for corruption and fostering division, particularly in handling the new $100,000 cash grant. During his weekly press conference today, opposition leader Aubrey Norton claimed that extending the grant to overseas Guyanese may enable misuse, suggesting that the government could exploit the program to benefit certain supporters.
The diaspora's entitlement opens new opportunities for more PPP corruption, since it is well known that the PPP has the ID cards of many of its supporters who reside overseas. And the same way they misused them in the general and regional elections in 2020, they are likely to do the same.
Norton noted that the government said the cash grant is to help Guyanese with the high cost of living, not persons who are home on holiday and are not experiencing the high cost of living in Guyana.
Clearly, this is another of Jagdeo wildcat schemes that emerged after Ali's announcement. In addition, it is evident that there's a serious and obvious division between Jack Dew and the president. Since nowhere in President Ali's pronouncement it was suggested that Guyanese overseas will benefit.
The opposition argue that this policy lacks oversight and calls for stricter monitoring, such as including opposition representative in the grant distribution process to ensure transparency. The opposition has also raised concerns about the state of the Guyana police force, citing corruption and incompetence within its leadership. They advocate for an international investigation to address the alleged issues and improve the Guyana Defense Force's ability to enforce law and order. Reporting for Headline News Update, Malcolm Carter.
Thanks, Malcolm. Jin Minwoo, a Chinese national and owner of Prosperous Hardware Incorporated, has altered his plea to not guilty in a tax evasion case after initially admitting to the charges. The Ghana Revenue Authority has ordered Wu to pay over $10 million in unpaid taxes, which he contends is an inaccurate amount. Wu of Regent Street, Georgetown, is accused of failing to submit individual income tax returns from 2022 to 2024. He faces one charge for his company and 3 individual charges related to his tax obligations. Wu pleaded guilty to all the charges during his first court appearance at the Georgetown Magistrates Court. However, on Wednesday, October 24th, he changed his plea for the company-related charge after GRA prosecutors revealed that the penalty would amount to 10% of the tax assessment. Wu's attorney, Sasha King, disputed the accuracy of the tax figures and requested a reassessment. For the 3 individual charges, Wu has agreed to pay in excess of $800,000 to the GRA within 21 days while maintaining his guilty plea. The case is scheduled to continue on October 30th, 2024. Stick around when we return. Ghana Press Association raises concerns over media treatment by politicians, and firearms seized from Brazilian nationals in Lethem.
Kissoon's Furniture, mega sale, 7 days of savings, and I'm talking mega savings on office furnitures, outdoor furniture, bedrooms, dining rooms, living rooms, carpets and mattresses. Sales starts October 24th to the 30th at all branches. Kissoon's Furniture, mega sale, a Guyanese business for Guyanese people.
Is there anybody in this house want to worship the Lord with me?
Hi music fans, it's here again. It's the Gospel Music Awards 2024 and the launching of Charlene Maloney's new album titled He's Greater.
He's greater.
It's a double event, one night only. It's praise and worship at the National Cultural Center, Saturday, November 2nd at 8 p.m. or 20 hours sharp. Tickets cost $3,000 and $2,000. It's Gospel Music Awards and a concert. Special appearances by Ambassador Charlene Maloney and other top Guyanese artists. You cannot afford to miss this one. Be there.
Get your tickets at the National Cultural Center, Wireless Connections Border Market, and Andrew Supermarket.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny? I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again. Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Hello, my fellow TikToker followers. He is credit. And today, all we will be making Chinese noodles with peppies, chow mein, chicken fritters, and spice cake. For the noodles, all these will be using peppies, black pepper, cashew,
Chinese sauce, soy sauce, garlic sauce, paprika, Chinese seasoning, chow mein seasoning, five spice, and all-purpose seasoning.
Next, this chicken that we marinate soak for all you don't know nothing with peppies, green seasoning, miracle seasoning,
pepper sauce, chicken seasoning, paprika, garlic powder, dark seasoning, black pepper, onion powder, and ginger powder, and document plantain flour, and then this butter we make with this quick piece powder, and we
boil in high. We serve with peppies, barbecue sauce. Radhika went to the supermarket and she proper buy up enough things. She feels she alone can cook, but she routine even wrong. He shaped like a guy in a map.
Peppies has a wide range of ingredients available at supermarkets nationwide. Peppies, we put the pep back into your kitchen.
Speak clearly with a gift of sight from Modern Optical Services. Let our professional team examine and prescribe what's best for your eyes. Common smiles make fashionable faces. See us for a full line of optical services, including brand name and prescription eyewear. Modern Optical Services, 316 Middle Street, Georgetown. Telephone 226-1082.
GECOM is currently conducting a national registration exercise. Who can register? Anyone who will be 14 years or older by December 31, 2024 and is a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, naturalization, or is a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more. Where to apply for registration? You are required to visit the registration office that is responsible for the registration of persons in your area of residence to apply for registration. Office hours, Monday to Thursday, 8 to 12 hours, 13 hours to 16 hours 30, and Friday from 8 to 12 hours and 13 to 15 hours 30. The offices will be closed on weekends and holidays. This registration exercise will end on November 29, 2024. For further information, contact GECOM on 225-027729 or visit the website www.gecom.org.gy.
Welcome back. Prime Minister Mark Phillips, currently acting as president, marked United Nations Day yesterday by calling for global peace, cooperation, and a focus on sustainable development. Speaking at an event in Georgetown, he reaffirmed Ghana's dedication to the United Nations peace, human rights, and environmental protection goals. The Prime Minister highlighted Ghana's support for the United Nations' new Pact for the Future, a plan promoting digital growth and unity among nations despite challenges. Prime Minister Phillips emphasized Ghana's active role in the UN Security Council, which will address urgent issues like climate change, food insecurity, and conflict resolution. He also stressed the need to support vulnerable groups, especially in developing and low-lying countries, and committed to empowering young leaders. Reflecting on global conflicts, he renewed Ghana's call for peace in regions like Gaza, Ukraine, and Sudan, urging an end to violence worldwide. The Prime Minister concluded by honoring the UN's contribution to Ghana's history and the efforts of its staff dedicated to improving global well-being. In other news, the Ghana Press Association has expressed serious concerns regarding politicians' treatment of media workers, citing ongoing harassment, aggression, and intimidation. In a statement released today, October 25th, the GPA noted that journalists are increasingly being targeted across the political spectrum, with reports of disparaging treatment and a lack of cooperation from political figures. The GPA highlighted several incidents, including threats against journalists, verbal assaults from politicians, and the manipulation of media access. For example, the head of the Special Organized Crime Unit threatened journalist Leroy Smith with sedation charges after a news report, while Minister of Foreign Affairs Hugh Todd was reported to have shouted at a Stabrook News reporter. Additionally, state media workers have raised complaints about intimidation from opposition members. The association accused the government of using state-owned media to sideline certain outlets and favoring friendly media for interviews, creating a troubling environment for press freedom as the country enters an election cycle. This behavior, they argue, threatens the civic space and may lead to self-censorship among journalists. GPA President Nazim Ragadir emphasized the need for politicians to respect the media and its workers, calling for more significant support and engagement with independent media houses. The association plans to promote training for journalists and urge the Guyana Elections Commission to implement media monitoring and political conduct guidelines as the election period approaches. Moving on, officers from the Customs Anti-Narcotics Unit intercepted a vehicle with Brazilian plates and unlicensed firearms parked outside the Takatu Hotel in central Lethem on Thursday, October 24th. Inside the car were 36-year-old Paulo Cesar Buckley de Silva, the driver, and 23-year-old Larissa Soares Garcia Rodriguez, a passenger. Upon identifying themselves, the officers informed the duo of suspicions regarding illegal items in the vehicle. While no illegal items were found on their person, a search of the car revealed a black .38 special revolver and a green suspected rifle, both without ammunition. Neither occupants possessed a firearm license. Both suspects were arrested and taken to the Lethem police station for further questioning. De Silva later claimed that he had brought the firearms from Brazil to sell in Lethem. The firearms were marked and sealed as evidence, and the vehicle was lodged pending investigations. The duo remains in custody. Don't go away after the break. Venezuela vents its anger at Brazil's BRICS snub. And we must learn lessons from history, King Charles tells Commonwealth.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny? I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lenders, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Kissoon's Furniture, mega sale. 7 days of savings, and I'm talking mega savings. On office furnitures, outdoor furniture, bedrooms, dining rooms, living rooms, carpets and mattresses. Sales starts October 24th to the 30th at all branches. Kissoon's Furniture, mega sale. A Guyanese business for Guyanese people.
Hello, my fellow TikToker followers. It's Credit, and today all we will be making Chinese noodles with peppies, chow mein, chicken fritters, and poise cake. For the noodles, all these will be using peppies, black pepper, cashew,
Chinese sauce, soy sauce, garlic sauce, paprika, Chinese seasoning, chow mein seasoning, five spice, and all-purpose seasoning.
Next, this chicken that we marinated, soak for all you don't know nothing with peppies, green seasoning, miracle seasoning,
Pepper sauce, chicken seasoning, paprika, garlic powder, dark seasoning, black pepper, onion powder, and ginger powder, and document plantain flour, and then this butter we make with this quick piece powder, and we
boil in high. We serve with peppies, barbecue sauce. Rally go into the supermarket and she proper buy up enough things. She feels she alone can cook, but she routine even wrong. He shaped like a guy in a map.
Peppies has a wide range of ingredients available at supermarkets nationwide. Peppies, we put the pep back into your kitchen.
There's a wave of heat. It's for the whole world.
If you have any infirmity, any disease, doesn't matter what the case is.
You're healed in Jesus' name. Everyone wants to hear your story.
I'm alive! Get up, you are here! Get up, you are here! October, Healing Streams Live Healing Services. Get yourself ready.
For Linden, call 707-2389. Bartica, call 685-6096. And Georgetown, call 695-0942.
The Guyana Elections Commission GECOM is currently conducting a national registration exercise. Who can register? Anyone who will be 14 years or older by December 31st, 2024 and is a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, naturalization, or is a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more. Types of transactions: Anyone eligible for registration is required to visit the registration office responsible for his or her area of residence to apply for registration. Persons who are already registered could apply for a name change if they have changed their names since they were last registered. Apply for corrections if there is incorrect information on their national ID cards. Persons who are desirous of conducting any of the above transactions must provide the relevant supporting documents. Persons who are already registered could request that their photographs be retaken if the quality of the photographs on their ID cards is unacceptable. Collect their new ID cards if they have not done so as yet. This registration exercise will end on November 29, 2024. For further information, please contact GECOM on the following hotline numbers: 225-027729, 226-6557, 223-9650, or visit the GECOM website at www.gecom.org.gy.
Welcome back. Now we take a look at what's happening in the region and around the world.
Good evening. I'm Malcolm Carter and welcome to tonight's regional and international news. First up, the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank announced plans to introduce redesigned EC currency notes, potentially circulating by 2027 during its 109th Monetary Council meeting. The updated EC $100 note is expected to debut in late 2027, followed by other denominations as current stocks deplete. Departing from tradition, the new banknotes will replace Queen Elizabeth II's image with portraits of notable Eastern Caribbean Currency Union nationals, showcasing 10 prominent regional figures across the denominations. This redesign follows a public consultation that concluded in December 2023, seeking feedback on the removal of the monarch's portrait and suggestions for alternative imagery. In South America, Venezuela criticized Brazil's veto of its BRICS membership bid, calling it immoral aggression. The veto came at the BRICS summit in Russia, where Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro argued his country belonged in the group. Venezuelan relations with Brazil soured after Brazil's President Lula da Silva demanded a vote breakdown from Venezuelans' disputed election, despite initially supporting Maduro. Venezuelan Foreign Ministry accused Brazil of continuing ex-President Bolsonaro's exclusionary policies, while Russian President Putin expressed support for Venezuelans' admission. The decision highlights internal BRICS tension, especially as the bloc expands to include other nations seeking alternatives to Western-led governance. Meanwhile, at the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting in Samoa, King Charles encouraged leaders to reflect on history and address persistent inequalities. Although he did not directly mention slavery, diplomatic sources revealed that some leaders wish to discuss reparations for the UK's role in the transatlantic slave trade. UK Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer acknowledged the strong feelings on the issue, yet reiterated the government's focus on contemporary challenges like climate change and trade, ruling out financial reparations. Despite British officials blocking a dedicated declaration, the summit's final communiqué is expected to include calls for meaningful conversations on reparations. Finally, the UN reports that over 10,000 people in Haiti have fled their homes in just the past week due to an alarming surge in gang violence. Armed groups in and around Port-au-Prince are intensifying their attacks, vying for control of strategic areas. Al Jazeera's Teresa Bo reports.
Another day of fighting between Haitian gangs and police on the streets of Port-au-Prince. The gangs already control 80% of the capital. Now they're moving into areas like Solino, a community that remained relatively safe until now.
The goal of the battle is to take control of Salina neighbourhood, Delmas 18, Delmas 24, and to move forward because we asked for dialogue with the government. They didn't want that. Today, we turn our weapons on those who fight us.
The gang is part of a coalition of rival gangs known as Viva Ensemble, which means living together. They have issued warnings to the population to either leave or face the risk of being burned to ashes. This is happening as the Haitian police is currently outgunned And after the United Nations deployed what is known as the Multinational Security Support Mission, composed for now of 400 Kenyan police officers to help in the fight against gangs. But for now, it does not seem to be achieving much.
The Kenyans can't even secure their country. I don't need to talk about Haiti. They just invaded Haiti to make more money than the police. Do you see any Kenyans in the battlefield?
Hundreds of thousands of Haitians have been displaced as gangs continue to extend their control over the capital and the country. Over half of the population is struggling for food and to cover their most basic needs. Christina Auguste is 24 years old and 6 months pregnant. She had to flee her home next to the national fort. Her house was under fire.
I lost everything. There were lots of people shooting, people running. I fell down on a fence and people passed over me. I couldn't walk because my leg was hurt. I'm not sure what we'll do.
Security analysts say the international community is failing.
Secretary of State Blinken came here and proposed to bring in UN blue helmets, and it was rejected once again by the UN. I believe the United States is playing for time because of the US elections, but they're not trying to find a real solution. If they want to do something for our country, they should stop the weapons coming here.
Gang members are young and heavily armed, with weapons that experts say come from the United States. And as they continue to advance into Port-au-Prince, no one seems to be able to fight back. Teresa Wo, Al Jazeera.
Thanks, Malcolm. This brings us to the end of our regional and global news coverage. Up next is the 3-day weather forecast. And that's FTV2 Headline News for this Friday evening. As we take our leave, we invite you to follow us on Facebook and YouTube. We will be off for the weekend, but you can tune in on Monday at 7 p.m. for more news. Until then, please take care of yourself and each other and do have a wonderful weekend.